Well, hi again, everybody, and welcome to high school basketball coverage, Jasper High School basketball coverage here on 18 WJTS. I'm Carey Schneider along with Jason Stamm and Jeremy Marcos on the camera tonight. And tonight we are in paradise as the Wildcats will travel south of in southern Warwick County to take on the Knights of Castle High School here at the Castle High School gym. Tonight the Wildcats coming in this contest with a 11-8 record, 3-5 in the Southern Indiana Athletic Conference, and right now on a two-game losing skid. Castle Knights 12-6 and 1-5 in the conference play with a 6-1 record, and right now a half game out of first place and of a first place tie with Rice and Harrison. Jason Stamm. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the Wildcats here, where right now, like as I said, a two-game skid at this point, but things don't get much better as we are at Castle and playing a very tough Knight team.
Yeah, this is a good pre-sectional test for Jasper. Obviously it's a potential sectional opponent. And I think it's just a matter of Jasper needs to right the ship here. Like you mentioned, we're on a two-game skid a little bit. And I think part of it is we've got to mentally and physically get ourselves ready for the sectional. Mm-hmm. I think, we've got some guys that have played a lot of minutes this year. And in the next week, or a couple weeks, we have a few games, not a lot. So, I'm sure Coach Gable and the coaching staff will look at, practice time as valuable, but they won't go a lot. But when they go, it's going to be very important that they get things done.
It's going to be, as I said, it's going to be a tough contest because not only Castle is a very fine basketball club, but as I mentioned, right now they're a half game out of first place of a three-way tie with Rice and Harrison, who are 6-1 in conference play. Castle 5-1, but the Knights actually have a pair of conference games coming up against North and Vincennes Lincoln yet. So, of course, with this one, it's obviously a very big win for must-need win for them.
Yeah, it is. If they want to share or have a shot at possibly sharing the conference title or winning it, they need to win tonight.
So here we go. We're getting ready to start this ball game. Griffin Heil and Dylan Watson will tip it up, and it will be controlled by the Knights as Braden Bishop will bring it up. It's Braden Bishop, Xander Niehaus at the guards, Aiden McAtee, Weston Eigner at the forward spots. Here's a shot up and in by number 40, Weston Eigner, for the first two for the Knights, who draw first blood and lead it 2-0. The center for the Knights is Dylan Watson. Cats with their usual starting lineup as there's a drive block, but a rebound basket is up and in by Will Wallace, and he will go to the line.
Yeah, Wallace did a very good job with the rebound there. Just happened to be in the right spot, but after he got the rebound, he went up strong and withstood the contact and was able to finish it.
Wallace will share the front court with Griffin Heil, Charlie Cabrick, Grant Young, and, of course, Carter Mundy will be in the backcourt for the Wildcats. Free throw is missed, but rebounded by the Wildcats. Ball is kicked by Watson, and the Cats will maintain possession. 2-2 is our score. Down low to Wallace, up and in, and he's got the first two buckets for the Cats tonight.
Yeah, Castle had a little mix-up there. Who was supposed to be guarding who on that out-of-bounds play and left Wallace wide open.
That leaves our score at 4-2 Jasper. Knights on the attack. Niehaus, Eigner back to Bishop. Right now, what are we looking at with the Wildcats here, Jay?
Well, they're in their typical man-to-man. Eigner's definitely the guy that they're going to look for that type of a play there, coming off the dribble handoff. He's going to go to the basket like he did on the first possession, and there again. I think tonight we got to pick up our defensive intensity that we had there for a long stretch, and then it's kind of went away a little bit. We need to find that back tonight.
Eigner will have two free throws. First one, he is short. Foul was called on Charlie Cabrick, his first. 4-2 Jasper leads. Eigner looking to cut that to 1. And he does with the second of 2. First of all, 1 out of 2 at the line there. So 4-3, Wildcats on top by 1. Drive by Cabrick, up and in. So Charlie Cabrick picks up his first bucket, and we'll have a timeout by Castle right off the bat. A 30-second timeout by head coach for the Castle Knights, Brian Gibson, who is 314 and 155 in his 21st year here at Castle. All of all 21 years of his career here at Castle. John Gable, 216 and 149 his 16th year at Jasper, 302 and 186 in his 21st season overall. 6-3 is our score. Jasper by 3. After a quick 30-second timeout by Coach Gibson.
Yeah, I think Coach Gibson wasn't happy on the defensive end. I think he feels like they're giving up too many easy baskets to Jasper. The 3 shots that we've made have all been within probably 3 feet of the basket.
Nice wide the basketball with the 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. Bishop in the corner. Finds Eigner, who will turn it over and under, over and back. Over under. What I'm thinking of maybe Sunday's football line.
Yeah, Super Bowl line.
That's right. What's not to bet on there? Everything from how long the halftime show will go to what?
Yeah, you can pretty well bet about anything you want on the Super Bowl.
No kidding. Cats with the basketball. Here's a 3 on the way by Mundy. It's short, no good. Rebound Castle. Eigner will bring it up. He'll find Bishop down low, and it'll be blocked by Heil, but the rebound basket up and in by number 35, Aiden McAtee. So McAtee with his first 2, 6-5. Wildcats maintain the lead. Near steal by Bishop. Will be out of bounds. It'll belong to the Wildcats, who will send Andrew Noblet into the contest. Noblet will be the first substitution for Coach Gable this evening. Wallace brings it in to Noblet. Top of the key. Mundy down low to Will. Will shot is duffed for being double teamed. Is blocked. Down the floor is Eigner, and that shot is blocked. And the Cats have stolen away by the Knights, and up and in by Eigner, and a foul. Wow.
Yeah, the action was fast and furious there. Jasper did a good job of getting back on the initial drive, and they got the block on Eigner, but they got the rebound but didn't take care of the ball after they got it.
Foul is going to be called on Andrew Noblet, his first, and Eigner back at the line. He is 1 for 2 here in the first quarter, and he's got 5 points, make it 6.
Yeah, he averages 20, little over 25 a game. So, I mean, he's a handful. Cabrick's kind of drawn that assignment tonight. So,
and with the
we'll see how that goes.
With the 3-point play, he puts the Castle Knights back on top, 8-6. Jasper with the basketball. Mundy in the lane, shot up, good. Ricardo Mundy with his first bucket. Score tied 8 apiece. Grant Young getting set to come back in. Bishop top of the key. McAtee now to Eigner. Back to McAtee on the right-hand side. Eigner will bring it out in the backcourt, getting close to almost turning it over again. He'll drive, find Watson down low, up and in. So Watson working on Griffin Heil on that play, Jason, and it's 10-8.
Yeah, Griff's got that Watson boy is, good size. So Griff's going to have his work cut out for him in there tonight.
There's a shot no good, and a rebound by Bishop for the Knights. We'll have the basketball and a 2-point lead at 10-8. Ball stolen by Heil. Cats will have it. Charlie Cabrick will bring it up to the floor. 4 minutes to go in the first. Down low to Wallace. Wallace, shot blocked, but Howell is there with the rebound, basket up and in.
Griff did a good job there. His man left and went and double teamed, and he didn't just stand there. He went after the ball and got a good rebound and basket.
That ties the score at 10 apiece. Giesler getting set to check in for the first time tonight for the Wildcats. Here's a pass stolen down low by Wallace, and the Cats will have it.
They did a good job there on the help side defense, rotating over, and that's what led to that easy steal.
Young will download pass was intended for Heil down low, and it was taken away by the Knights. Here's Eigner the other way, missing the shot, but there with the rebound is number 35 for the Knights, and that is, of course, Aiden McAtee with his second bucket of the night. He's got 4 points. It's 12-10. Knights back on top. And a pass is wide from Kabrick to, looks like maybe Nabla was down there. Either way, it goes out of bounds. It'll belong to Castle.
Well, you know, Coach Cable was probably not happy with Young with something there is why he took him out, because normally he doesn't come out of the game that early. He's back in there now, but we tend to get lost when we don't have him out there as a point guard for us.
Charlie Kabrick and Will Wallace will take a rest right now. Eigner works it down low. Deals it off to Watson, who missed the shot. He's got it now. 3 on the way by Bishop is good. Or excuse me, number 12 actually with that basket for the Knights. And that was Xander Niehaus. So Niehaus with the first three-pointer in this contest. And the Knights are up with their biggest lead of the day at 15-10.
Officials seem to be letting the big guys inside bang around pretty good.
Down low to Young. He'll put a reverse, no good. Heil with the rebound and a whistle and a foul called on the Knights. So Heil go to the line to shoot 2. Let's see what that. Castle had a substitution coming in and trying to pick that up who that was, but we'll get in a second. 2 minutes to go. Heil at the line with 2 shots coming. The first one is no good.
34, Brendan
Daines in the lineup.
Yeah.
Next one by Heil is good. He's got 3. 15-11. Wildcats trail by 4. Cats going up against a very fine-looking Knight ball club today. Good size, good guard play. And a whistle and a travel is going to be called as Dylan Watson is called for steps.
Yeah, he kind of got the ball knocked out of his hand. I think we were fortunate to get the travel call there.
1:48 to play. Wallace getting set to come back in for the Wildcats. Giesler, top of the key, holds high. Young looks at, Nabla actually has the top of the key. Young looking to Heil down low. And he'll find Giesler. Shot is blocked. Mundy will come up with it. Young down to the baseline. Giesler on the wing. Here's a 3 on the way, no good. And a long rebound, and it will be out of bounds. It belongs to the Wildcats. He said Will Wallace will come back in, and he'll give Griffin Heil a rest.
Castle definitely likes to try to block shots. I mean, they've got 2 or 3 blocks in the game already, and have tried numerous times that they haven't been successful.
Aiden McAtee will come back in for Coach Gibson's ball club. 1:13 to play. Jasper with the basketball, trailing by 4 here in the first quarter. Braden finds Wallace in the top of the key. Down low to Giesler. Deals it out to Young for 3. No good. Giesler comes up with the offensive rebound, and the foul will be called on the Knights. Foul was likely on the floor actually. And that will be called against Braden Bishop. 3rd team foul by the Knights. I've been keeping track of their fouls. It's the only first one I marked out for them. But anyway, under a minute to go, and there's a steal by the Knights. Eigner will bring it up. Noblik playing on him. 40 seconds to go. Bishop. .28 seconds on the clock. And a whistle and a foul away from the ball.
I believe Wallace is going to pick that up, trying to guard Watson on the post.
It'll be his first. Looks like Caber came back in for Jasper. 27 seconds to go in the first. 3 team fouls apiece. And Niehaus, it looks like maybe, yeah, Niehaus came back in for Castle. And Eigner coming over to.
That's
a trainer.
Yeah. He's got blood on his jersey because it's on his back, so I'm assuming it ain't from him.
Unless he bumped into his own player, our own man. But
yeah,
and he will stay in the ball game.
Yeah, they got some kind of solution I think they put on it that
instead of taking a ride out and all that, yeah, and they changed made a little more advanced on that.
I think it looks like Noblet may be the guy that's cut. That they're
and he will come out, and it looks like Mundi came in for him. So
yeah,
so he will head over to looks like the Castle's trainer over on the behind the Castle bench right now.
Yeah, he'll probably get a Band-Aid put on.
Meanwhile, 27 seconds to go, and the Knights with the basketball, leading it by 4. 15-11 is the score. Eigner working in the backcourt. Here is Niehaus. Watson. Knights moving around. Eigner, 8 seconds. 3 seconds. Here we go. He'll stop, pop, hesitate shot after a little bit of defensive pressure by Cabrick, I believe that was.
Yeah.
And nonetheless, the Castle Knights come up short in their quest for a basket at the end of the quarter. And however, they lead this contest by the score of 15-11. We're back with the second quarter after this here on 18 WJTS. Castle High School, where the Wildcats and the Castle Knights about to start the second quarter of play with Castle leading at 15-11, Jason. And not that bad exactly, decent looking first quarter for the Wildcats despite 4 turnovers, as you pointed out.
Yeah, I had Jasper for 4 and Castle for 3, so it was kind of a sloppily played quarter on both ends. I look for that to settle down here a little bit as the game goes on, but like you said, it wasn't bad. But still, our defense needs to pick up a little bit, I think.
That's why the basketball to start the quarter. They trail by 4. Young at the top of the key, finds Wallace inside the lane. Shot is up and in. Will Wallace, the junior, has 6. Jasper trails by 2, 15-13. Niehaus will inbound it in front of the Jasper bench. Bishop with it in the backcourt. Niehaus. McAtee now to Eigner. Down low to Watson. Watson finds a shot up and in by number 35 as he found Aiden McAtee, who's picked up his 6th point of the game. Knights back up by 4, 17-13.
Yeah, Watson did a good job. That was nice interior passing on his part.
Shot by Mundi is blocked, and he'll draw a foul. Mundi was able to get his man off the ground. And that will be Xander Niehaus' 2nd. 14 foul for the Knights. And Mundi will shoot 2. And he'll get the first. Griffin Heil comes in for Braden Giesler. Meanwhile, Dylan Watson will take a seat for the Knights. Mundi, one more shot coming with the chance to bring the game Wildcats within 2. He can hit this one. He does. He's got 4. Cats within 2, 17-15. McAtee finds Eigner, who was drawing all kinds of little bit of some of the double teams down there. But that leaves a man open eye underneath, and that will be number 51 for the Knights. And that is Ryan Lampert. Griffin Heil will draw the foul, or will be called for the foul. Lambert will go to the line. He'll have 2 shots coming. First one is good.
He played some in the JV game. This kid shooting free throws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I say, I noticed him during that as a good size for him.
And shot the ball well from outside. He had at least 1, or if not 2 3-pointers, I think, in that game.
He missed that second one. He's a junior. And he, with 1 free throw, puts the Knights up by 3, 18-15. Here is Heil down low. Looks and finds Young at the charity stripe.
Castle's in a zone defense. They were in their what they're known for, their half-court trap, but now they kind of fell back into a 1-2-2 zone.
Here's Kabrick inside the circle, no good. Ball is knocked away, and here comes the Castle Knights with the basketball. Eigner with it. He'll put the shot up and in. So Weston Eigner's got 8.
He's a pretty good ball handler. He gets open by creating off of the dribble a lot of times.
Young, Mundi, Kabrick, and there's a steal, and Mundi's able to come back up with it, and the foul looks like it'll be called. Will it be against Jasper? Or it is against Jasper. Are you kidding? Wow. I mean, the defender was trailing him on there, and what are they? I don't know what kind of explanation the referee is giving John Gable right now.
No, that was bad. I don't know how that's either got to be a no call or it's got to be a foul on Castle.
You can't call that. I know. Let's say John Gable is letting the referee know about it. For Mundi, his first personal and 15th foul for the Wildcats. Castle has the basketball. Eigner with it on the wing. He'll pick it inside the circle. Bring it to Watson, who just checked back into the contest. 5.5 minutes to play. Castle up on top, 20-15. Whistle and a timeout by Castle again. A full timeout by Coach Gibson with his ball club leading 20-15 with 5:19 to play in the first half of play. It's Jasper trailing the Castle Knights 20-15. Back after this on 18 WJTS. Back once again here at Castle, where the Wildcats trail the Castle Knights by the score of 20-15. Jason with 5:19 to play. Yeah,
we've got to do a better job on Eigner. He's one of those guys that one guy can't guard. It takes a couple guys to be ready to help on him because he's so good off of the dribble.
So the Castle Knights will have the basketball as Bishop has it.
Jasper's in a 2-3, 2-1-2 zone now. They're going to try to force Castle to shoot the ball from the outside.
Eigner down low, finds Bishop on the right wing. Deals it out to him. Niehaus. Almost swatted from behind by Young. Here's a long 3 on the way, and asking you shall receive, I guess you could say, as Braden Bishop pumps a 3 from the right wing, and it's 23-15 Castle. And an offensive foul is called on Noblet as he tried to go between 2 defenders and apparently knocked Braden Bishop on the floor.
To me, again, that was probably better left as a no call than anything. I mean, I thought the guy kind of flopped. I didn't think Andrew hit him near that hard. But when you're on the road, you're gonna run into that sometimes, and you got to be able to fight through those things.
For Noblet, that is his second personal and 16 foul for the Cats. Castle with the basketball. They lead by 8. Here's a 3 on the way, up and in. Second straight three by Braden Bishop. And Coach Gable will call a 30-second timeout. The Knights are up by 11, 26-15. Under 4 minutes to play here in the first half of play. We'll be back after this. The Knights on a pair of quick three-pointers by Braden Bishop have pulled away to a 26-15 lead, Jason. As we said, right after Jasper went into that 3-2 zone, the Knights seem to take advantage of it.
Yeah, obviously I think I wouldn't be surprised on the next defensive possession that we're out of that zone back into man.
Cats need a bucket. Here's a three on the way by Noblet. It is no good. Out of bounds.
They have no idea.
And
surprisingly, it went to Jasper.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, maybe they thought they deserved a break.
Well, and I tell you what, I mean, from my angle, I couldn't tell who hit it.
I didn't know.
There was guys swinging and everything else, and you don't know who hit it. Move.
There's a soft pass. It's going to be inbound. It's going to be stolen away. Here's Eigner up and in. 28-15, Castle, as Eigner has his 10th point.
Middle. There you go.
Here's a three by the Wildcats. No good. And they say Noblet bounced it on the baseline perhaps, and it'll go to Castle.
Yeah, I would assume he stepped on it, so I'm not sure. I don't know what that was.
I mean, that's an over back call.
I was kind of confused as his hand motion on it, but.
3:15 to play in the first half. Castle leads it.
Jasper's back in their man-to-man defense now.
28-15 is the score. Castle. Watson deals it out to Bishop. Bishop now, guarded by Noblet. He'll drive. Watson now down low to Eigner. Eigner actually inside the lane. He will go split two defenders, put the shot up, no good, gets his own rebound. And a foul is going to be called on Noblet. That'll be his third. And that'll put Eigner at the line shooting two.
The bottom line is he missed the first shot. We got to do a job of blocking him out and getting the rebound. I mean, he had at least two, if not three opportunities to shoot there.
Weston Eigner with 10 points. He is 2 for 3 from the line tonight. They'll have a pair coming here. The first one is good. Grant Young will come into the ball game to replace Noblet. Also coming in will be Griffin Heil to replace Wallace. So
Eigner's having a pretty good night tonight so far. He was crowned homecoming king before the game started, and now he's having a pretty good first half of the ball game.
He's 2 for 2 so far. And his second free throw is no good.
See, that was that announcer's jinx that we did there, yeah.
As Jason mentioned, it was homecoming tonight between the JV and varsity contest. It's still by the Knights. Eigner misses a shot, no good. McAtee with a down low to Eigner, up and in. Wes Eigner once again goes to the line, or will go to the line. He's got 2, 4, 6, 7 points here in the second quarter alone, 13 in the contest. He will go to the line to try to complete a 3-point play and look for his 14th point. And he does.
One of the big things that I see that we've got to get better at is blocking out. We're allowing them to get too many opportunities, too many shots.
And that might be one of the things that Coach John Gable will want to talk about as he calls a full timeout with 2:19 to play here in the first half of play. Castle has jumped out to a 32-15 lead over the Wildcats. Back after this here on 18 WJTS. 2-15 is our score. Castle on top. Jason, Coach John Gable with the timeout. Obviously not seeing what he likes to wants to see out of his ball club at this point.
No, I'm pretty sure he's not real pleased with their effort and their execution. so far in this game. Fortunately, I mean, we're still in the game and it's still early in the game, but we've got to get things going. I mean, we've got 15 points in over a quarter and a half.
Exactly. I was going to say, I mean, they need some baskets here and some defensive stops, needless to say, before this thing gets out of hand early.
Yeah, I mean, we've only scored 4 points here in the second quarter, and we're 6 minutes in.
Under 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Jasper with the basketball, trailing it 32-15. Here's a three on the way, is up and in, and that's what the doctor ordered as Charlie Kabrick nails the three-point basket. He's got 5.
And it was against the zone. We did a good job of moving the basketball, reversed it, threw a skip pass, and got an open look.
1.5 minutes to go in the first half of play. 32-18, Castle with the lead. There's a air ball. Jasper has the basketball. Mundi finds Young. Kabrick out in the backcourt. Giesler down low to Heil. Heil and offensive fouls. Oh, that was pretty obvious.
Yeah, that one I don't think you can argue too much about. He kind of lowered his shoulder and leaned into him. And
so with the player control foul, the Knights will have the basketball. Heil picks up.
That's 3
on the board. Already?
Yeah. And that could be a pretty big issue with Watson in the game. Now they've got twin towers in there. They've got Watson and Lampert in there both, and they're both pretty good-sized kids.
So Wallace and Giesler will have their work cut out on them as Giesler's working down low with Lampert, who has the basketball. Works on Giesler, puts a shot up, must have no good, but Will Wallace will come down with the rebound. He'll deal it out to Kabrick. Charlie with the 3, no good. Rebound comes to the hands of Braden Bishop, and up the floor comes the Castle Knights. They lead at 32-18 with 30 seconds to go in the first half. Eigner circles it in the backcourt with Kabrick on him. 22 seconds to go. Knights will look for the last shot.
5 seconds.
I was going to, yeah.
It had to be really close. The official was counting.
Here's a whistle, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Eigner, and he says, "What, me?"
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Yes, sir. He picks up the foul, his first one of the game. Actually, his second. They said second. The scoreboard still had him up for 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You had 1. They got 1 on the board, but they said 2, so I don't know.
Well, I'll stick with the scoreboard.
Yeah.
So now the scoreboard does have it as 2. So I was going to say 3 seconds ago, Wallace puts the half-court shot up. It's no good, and that will be the end of the first half of play with the score Castle 32, Jasper 18. So the Wildcats and Knights will head to the locker room, Jason, with the Knights with a 32-18 lead. Just kind of give us a little rundown on this first half.
Well, I think for Jasper scored 7 points there in the second quarter. I think that we've got to do a better job on the offensive end. We need to improve on both ends. I mean, we've given up 32 points in the first half. We had some games there earlier in the year where we didn't give up that many for the entire game. So I think, we've got to get better on the defensive end, and then that leads to better offense. I think as far as the offense goes, we got to move. I think we're making it easy for Castle to guard us. We're not moving the ball. So we've obviously got to get better at that. They went on that run where they hit a couple of those big threes when we switched to that zone defense. So I think we've got to figure it out on the defensive end. And like I said, with Eigner, we've got to have help. I mean, he's too good of a player to ask one guy to try to guard because he's good off the dribble and shooting off the dribble, whereas a lot of high school players aren't good at that. They're good at either set shots or are penetrating and hitting layups, but he can penetrate and stop and shoot. So I think, those are a couple of things that, and turnover-wise, I had us for 6 for the first half. Obviously a 4 in the first quarter was bad. So we need to cut down on those a little bit.
The Knights outscored the Wildcats 17-7 in the second quarter. Jasper led in scoring here at halftime by Will Wallace with 6. Charlie Cabrick with 5, 4 points for Carter Mundy, and Griffin Heil with 3. Of course, Weston Eigner leads the Knights with 14 points here at halftime. 6 points by Aiden McAtee. 6 points by Braden Bishop as well. His 6 points, of course, coming on those pair of three-pointers that which he took advantage of when the Wildcats went into that zone. Now 1 point here at halftime by Ryan Lampert and Dylan Watson with 2, and Xander Niehaus with 3 as well. Yeah, we're at halftime with the score. Jasper trailing Castle 32-18. We'll be back after this here on 18 WJTS. Back at Castle High School, where the Wildcats and the Castle Knights here at halftime, with Castle leading at 32-18. Let's, while we got a chance here, let's switch some gears here a little bit, Jason, and give you an opportunity as you're, of course, president of Jasper Youth Baseball. You got a little announcement coming up with sign-ups, I believe?
Yeah, we do, Carey. This Sunday will be the Jasper Youth Baseball sign-ups. It'll be at the Hobbick Center from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. It's basically open for any young man that lives in Bainbridge Township, goes to school at Jasper or lives in Jasper, obviously. Ages 5 to 15. I know there a lot of times we get some confusion as to what the ages. The easiest thing for parents to look at is what is their age as of August 31st. Mm-hmm. If they're 5 before August 31st, they're allowed to play. If they turn 5 in November, they're considered a 4-year-old and they cannot play. And it works on the other end of the spectrum also with the 16-year-olds. If they're 15 at August 31st, they're allowed to play. If not, if they're too old, then they can't play. So it's 5 to 15-year-olds. Hopefully we'll get a good turnout. Last year we had record numbers as far as kids that participated in the program. We take pride in the Jasper Youth Baseball program. We have 2 boards. We have an executive board which has 11 guys on it, and then we have the Jasper Youth Baseball board. And without all these guys that are on those boards and putting forth the time and the effort to do these things, it would make this program a lot harder to keep running.
It's like strength in numbers. You need that. You need all the extra minds and bodies to do everything, not just for the administrative standpoints of things, but the physical, doing all kinds of a lot of work.
No doubt. The executive board, like I said, is made up of 11 members, and out of those 11, I think there's only 2 that have kids in the program. The rest are guys like myself that have had kids come up through the program. And those
have an interest and love of the game.
That's exactly right. And I know Coach Gobert. I'm around him all the time, and he appreciates that fact. We hopefully get good numbers to come out for the high school baseball team because of the youth baseball program. If people are watching this tomorrow afternoon when it's on, if they have any questions, they can feel free to call or text me. My number is 812-630-5760. I'd be glad to answer questions. Or they can come to the Hobbick Center from 1 to 3 on Sunday.
Congratulations ahead of time. What I'm sure will be a very successful year once again under your leadership with Jasper Youth Baseball, Jason.
Well, I appreciate that, Carey.
You're welcome. Now, of course, both teams back on the floor with their original starting lineups. Dylan Watson, Weston Eigner, Aiden McAtee, Xander Niehaus, and Braden Bishop for Castle. Cats with Heil, Wallace, Cabrick, Young, and Mundy on the floor to start the second half. Of course, keep an eye on Griffin Heil as he is starting the second half with 3 fouls, Jason.
Yeah, we need Griff to stay in this game, and by that I mean, he can't pick up an early foul here in the third quarter.
Knights with a lead of 32-18 to start here the third quarter, and they will have the basketball as you see on your television screen first. Eigner, I should say, over to McAtee, and the ball is stolen away. Stutter step by Kabrick, and he'll put the shot up and in. The Wildcats get the first bucket of the second half.
You know, and that's what we talked about. They're going to break at halftime. It has to start on the defensive end. You have to force them into turnovers, missed shots, contested shots, and then lead it into points on the other end.
Here's a shot up and in as the Knights answer with Xander Niehaus picking up his 5th point. 34 to 20 as the Wildcats trail by 14. Looks like Cats are just going to be a little patient here to start off here, Jason.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, there's what you got to do.
Wait, there's that wide open underneath by Howell.
Well, you know, Castle there again was trying that half-court trap. If you get the ball in the middle of the floor against a half-court trap like that, a lot of good things can happen. Right there, we got the ball to Kabrick at the free throw line and ended up with a layup.
Losing it out of bounds is Eigner as he lost kind of out of control, and the Wildcats will get it on the turnover as Wallace will inbound it. Jasper with the basketball, trailing 34 to 22. Mundy with it in the backcourt. Here's Grant Young on the left wing. Looks for Heil down low. He finds him. Almost, well, it is a steal then by the Knights as Mundy was unable to handle the pass. And Xander Niehaus gets the layup. He's got the first 2 buckets for Castle here in the 3rd quarter. And the Knights are back up by a 14-point lead at 36 to 22.
Those, you know, that's an unforced error there. It's just a lack of concentration to catch the ball before you try to do anything.
Kabrick with a shot from inside the lane is no good. Eigner will bring it up the floor. He'll force a shot up, no good. Rebound Wildcats. Here's Kabrick on the break. Kabrick will take it up, his block. Eigner comes up with it. Quickly down the floor. Eigner got away almost with a double dribble.
A double dribble and a travel both, I thought, but nobody else did, I guess.
Take your pick, but the refs don't see it that way. But Niehaus circles it inside the circle. McAtee puts a shot up. Good. Aiden McAtee has 8 points. Castle up 38 to 22. Back to a 16-point lead, their biggest of the ball game. It actually ties the biggest of the game. Here is Heil working on Watson. Misses a shot. Watson at the top of the key. McAtee. Bishop now. Bishop on the dribble. Finds Watson. Shot up and in by Weston Eigner. Wes Eigner has 16 points and a timeout by Jasper. John Gable will call a 30-second timeout. Just under 4 minutes to play. It is 40 to 22 our score. Castle with an 18-point lead, their biggest of the game. We'll be back after this here on 18 WJTS. Quick 30-second timeout by Coach John Gable after his ball club has now fallen to a 18-point deficit, Jason.
Yeah.
I
don't know that I got a lot of answers to it. You know, like we said, it's got to start on the defensive end. And you got to be able to convert down here on offense. So there's no reason to panic yet.
Wallace isn't, as he quickly takes that down the lane with confidence. Will Wallace has 8 points. 40 to 24 is the score. Watson down low, and he will draw the foul. Well, that either on Heil or Wallace, I'm not sure. And it is on Wallace.
Yeah.
So for Will, I got him for 2, and that will be 2. First team foul for the Cats as Dylan Watson has 2 points in this contest, misses that first one. His first trip at the line tonight. Giesler and Knoblich come in for the Wildcats, as does Brendan Daines for Castle. 3:28 to play in the third quarter. 40-24 is our score. That second one is no good as well, so Watson comes up short at the line.
Yeah, and you got to capitalize on this. It's like an empty possession for them, and we need to come up with a basket.
Here's Giesler for three. Got it. Nice big three-point basket by Braden Giesler, his first bucket of the night. 40-27. 3 minutes to go in the third. Eigner deals it out the top of the key to Watson. Here's Bishop inside the lane, up and in.
We're letting them get to the middle of the floor too easy. Eigner's done it a few times. He just did there. You know, they get to inside the paint, and they've got a nice little 10-footer.
8 points by Bishop. Here in the 2.5-minute mark here in the third quarter. Shot is up, no good by Young. Bishop will bring it up the floor. Knee download actually to Watson, and he will throw it away. Cats come up with the steal, and he stolen right away by Castle. Laying it up and in by Xander Niehaus, who's got his third bucket of the quarter. 6 points with 3 in the first. He's got 9.
See, it's hard to do, hard to come back in the game. You know, you force them into a turnover, and then you immediately turn the ball right back to them.
Return to favor, yeah. Here's Will Wallace, shot up and in. Will Wallace has his second bucket of the quarter. He's got 7 points tonight. 44-29. There's a whistle and a foul on the floor.
And that's a good call.
It is.
You know, he got that right because he did foul him, but it was before he caught or as he was catching the ball and not shooting.
So with that foul, it'll be the second on the Wildcats here in the first half.
But I think that was on, it was on Noblet, so that's his fourth.
So Noblet will have to take a seat, picking up his fourth personal. A minute and a half to play here in the third quarter. Castle leads it by 15, 44-29. In the ball game, Ryan Lampert, he will deal it off to Eigner. Danes, another reserve off the bench. He'll drive it up and miss the shot. Rebound basket is no good. Eigner come up with it and a whistle. And
I think they're going to call a foul.
I was going to say it looked like he hit the that base of the basket pretty hard, that padding. And that went against Giesler, looks like.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like it.
Braden Giesler picks up his first. Third team foul by the Wildcats here in the second half. None by Castle thus far. And we are a minute and 7 seconds to go to the end of the third quarter. 15-point lead by the Knights. They have the basketball. Bishop will inbound it underneath his basket to Niehaus. Bishop back to Niehaus. 3 on the way. Got it. 3-point basket by Xander Niehaus. He's got 12 points in this contest.
Yeah, he averages like 5.8, so.
He's got 9 here in the third quarter.
Yeah.
40 seconds to go. Jasper with the basketball, trailing at 47-29. And a whistle and a foul is going to be called as Xander Niehaus was left hanging.
Yeah, again, you know, like we talked earlier about how they like to block shots. Mundy did a good job of shot faking. He went flying up in the air.
Niehaus is third. First team foul by the Knights here in the second half with 31 seconds to go in the third quarter. And Niehaus will sit down. Got 12 points, as I said, 9 here in the quarter. Here's a 3 by Charlie Cabrick from the corner. Good. The Charlie Cabrick, 7. He's got 10 points on the night. 20 seconds to go. Jasper trailing it 47-32. 11 seconds to go. Eigner in the corner. Bishop with it now. 4 seconds and a steal. 2 seconds. Shot is up by Young, no good, and he will draw the foul and go to line as the clock expires here at the end of the third quarter. But before that happens, going to the line for the Wildcats will be Grant Young. His first trip at the line tonight. He has not scored in this ball game and nails that first one. First point of the night by Grant Young, 47-33. Second one is going to be short, and that'll bring us now to the end of the third quarter of play with a score: Castle 47, Jasper 33. Back after this here on 18 WJTS. Back at Castle High School as we bring you the fourth and final period of play here tonight on 18 WJTS as we watch this on Saturday morning. 47-33, Castle with the lead. Cats with the basketball now. Inside the lane, shot is up, and it's blocked by, was that Mundy shot that? Yeah.
Yeah, Mundy shot it. I thought, to me, it looked like one of them had a clean block, but it looked like there was two guys there. So
Carter will go to the line to shoot two. He's got 4 points in this game.
He hasn't gotten a lot of shots. You know, I mean, yeah, he's only got 4 points, but he hasn't gotten a lot. They've done a pretty good job on him on defense.
Trust me, I wasn't dissing him exactly, but
yeah,
I
know. But you know, I'm just saying they've done a pretty good job of taking him out of our offense tonight.
And he nailed that first one? Yes,
yeah.
He did, and now he's got his second one as well. 6 points on the night, 47-35, Castle on top. Here's a shot up, no good. They'll say he stepped on the line perhaps, and the Wildcats will have it as Griffin Heil will come back in. Heil comes into the contest with 7 points, but he's got 3 fouls to his discredit.
At this point in the fourth quarter, you got to throw out those fouls, and you just got to go out there and play now.
Got to make something out of this.
Yeah.
Young finds Kabrick for 3, no good. Overshot the basket for an air ball. Eigner deals it out to Bishop. He'll pump a 3 and he'll nail it. So Braden Bishop, his third three-pointer of the night. He has got, 6-9, now making 12 points.
We've done a lot better job on, that's just a bad pass there.
And the ball turned over to the Knights.
We've done a better job on Eigner here the second half. He hasn't scored as much, but the other guys have.
With the basketball, of course, on the other side is Xander Niehaus. He'll find Bishop. Watson, big man in the backcourt now. Eigner, or excuse me, actually that was McAtee. There's Eigner. McAtee again inside the circle.
See that right there was two times they dribbled to the middle, and we did a lot better job of stopping them.
Wildcats trail by 15, 50-35 with 6 minutes to go, almost 6 minutes to go here in the ball game when Coach Gibson will call timeout. Again, with 6:01 to play, 50-35 is our score. Cats trail by 15. Back after this on 18 WJTS. With 6:01 to go in the ball game, Castle with the basketball on a 15-point lead. Both teams sticking with a lot of their starters already still with at this point, Jason, but still 15-point lead is not exactly too insurmountable.
No,
at this point.
But you can't give up easy buckets, on that end. You got to keep, and Castle.
And there's that three that was short this time by Xander Niehaus. Jasper needs some quick buckets, as we said, actually.
Yeah, and they do. I mean, they need to play. That's a tough shot. You can't have those. You do good on the defensive end. You got to have production down here on the offensive end when you're down 15 with 5 minutes to go.
There's a ball swatted away, and then Wallace comes up with a steal, hopefully. And he will hold on to it this time, and he'll deal it out to, let's see, Charlie Cabrick on the right wing. Cabrick will take it inside the lane. He'll put the shot up, and is swatted from behind by Watson. And the ball is knocked out of bounds, and they're going to give it to Castle. I'm not. Was it off him? Did you see it? I didn't.
I don't know.
I'm not going to. I did have a really good look at it myself from what I was kind of glancing at somewhere else on the floor. So
yeah, I couldn't really tell. Again, there's a lot of arms and body parts swinging, and you don't know who they belong to.
At this point, well, I'm not going to say it exactly that the game is obviously out of reach at this point. I mean, it is still just 15 points with under 5, but either way, you like to get your breaks, though, either way.
Yeah.
Knights with the basketball. It's up to Jasper to put the defensive pressure on the Cats, as the Knights probably just not going to force too many shots at this point.
No. That's why I said you can't.
There's a steal. As we said, Wallace with another steal. Will take it all the way and lost his footing, puts a shot up, and they call him for traveling.
And he probably did, but I couldn't tell if the shot went off before he traveled.
Either way, it zipped through with nothing but net.
Yeah.
And but it will not count as the turnover is committed by the Wildcats. Under 4.5 to play.
We've this same score for the last minute and a half or so.
Yeah, we've been sitting on
which if it was a close game, that would be fine. But at 15 points, you can't have empty trips.
And the Cats, almost another steal by Wallace. And the Cats have had their opportunities, with those couple of steals, but have come up short with nothing to speak of. Ball is knocked out of bounds. It'll belong to Castle with 4:01 to play. Here is an inbounds pass. The shot by Watson is no good. Jasper with the rebound. Under 4 minutes to play. Will Wallace against Watson, and he will draw the foul. So Dylan Watson will pick up, I have him at least for his first. And it will be his first. And going to the line will be Will Wallace, 8 points in the contest. He is 0 for 1 from the line tonight, making 1 for 2. Nine points for Will. Next one on the way is good as well. So a pair of free throws by Wallace gives the Jasper Junior a 10-point tally this far. And a 13-point contest, 50-37, 3:43 to play. A whistle and a foul by Wallace. It looks, or a Heil actually.
I thought
they're going to give us. It's actually Mundi.
I thought they kind of just run into each other, the offensive guys, but.
Okay. Yeah, either way, it's the second foul on Mundi. Only 8 total fouls in the second half, and we have 3.5 minutes to play almost. Here's a drive inside the lane, up and no good by Braden Bishop, who will draw the foul. Bishop with 12 points. He'll have 2 free throws coming. And that foul will go against Noblet, I believe. It will be number 5 for Andrew. We'll leave this ball game with no points. He drew some tough assignments tonight.
Yeah, he did. He was trying to stay with Eigner, and I thought he picked up a couple of cheap fouls. I don't know that he got his money's worth on them, but
Bishop with 2 shots coming. The first one is good. Bishop with 13 points. His points come on all of his buckets on 3-pointers, and he is 1 for 2. Actually, sorry, take it back. He does have a 2-point basket. Now with that basket, a free throw, I should say, he's now got 14. Weston Eigner with 16 points in the first 3 quarters.
I was going to say, he didn't score much.
Well, that's only the 5th point for Castle here in the 4th quarter. Wildcats only have 4 points of their own. I was looking at my score sheet. Who hit that?
Mundy.
Mundy, thank you very much. So Carter Mundy with the 3-point basket, was it?
Yes.
And he's got 9 points. 3:04 to play. 52-40. Castle by 12. And a whistle.
Giesler's going to pick that one up.
So Braden Giesler with his second.
Number 35, Braden Giesler, his second personal 16th foul.
So 16 fouls against the Wildcats. Under 3 minutes to play. 52-40 is their score. Weston with it. Ball is knocked away by Giesler, I guess it was, but
yeah.
Castle with it. Eigner. 3 on the way by number 1, Braden Bishop. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 3-pointers on the night.
He's definitely shot the ball really well tonight. I don't know if he does that normally, but
he leads all scorers with 17. Here's a shot up and in by Carter Mundy. Mundy with his second straight basket. 7 points here in the 4th quarter by Carter, 11 on the night. As we approach the 2-minute mark, 55-42, Knights with the lead. And they have the basketball, under 2 minutes. Here's a 3 on the way, up and in by number 35, Aiden McAtee. And the Knights are pulling away.
But that's all done by the penetration that we allow. That's where, I think moving forward, if we have to play Castle again, we've got to do a lot better job with the dribble penetration.
Absolutely. And of course, you making the point, obviously, this is a potential sectional opponent, obviously.
Yep.
As the Wildcats will take part in the 4A sectional at North High School in just a few weeks. Sectional draw coming up next weekend.
Next Sunday.
There's a steal by Bishop. Bishop will take it all the way. Braden Bishop. 10 points here in the 4th quarter. 10 of Castle's 13 points here in the 4th quarter. He's got 19, I believe. When with almost a minute to play, Castle will have the basketball. Coach Gable will bring Caden Ernie off the bench. Under a minute to play. .49 seconds. 60-42 is our score. A shot is blocked from Eigner by Heil.
To me, it seems like there was an abundance of block shots tonight on both sides.
Long 3. Yeah.
It just felt like both teams had a lot of shots blocked.
18-point ball game. 20 seconds to go. Castle will run the clock down as Castle was getting ready to bring in their own couple of substitutions. And with that being said, Ernie will not check into the contest after all. 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that'll bring us to the end of this ball game. Jason, with the final score, Jasper falling to the Castle Knights by the score of 60-42. The Wildcats with their 3rd straight loss, and they will fall to 11-9 on the year, 3-6 in the Southern Indiana Athletic Conference. Castle improves to 13-6, and they are now 6-1. And like I said, virtually in a 3-way tie for the SIAC Conference. So let's talk about this ball game a little bit. Obviously, it was a game that the Wildcats perhaps I mean, from a win standpoint, sure, you want to win. I mean, obviously it didn't have any difference from the conference standpoint. It wasn't going to have any effect for that. But the fact of the matter is, it was a game where just simply the Wildcats needed to have a little bit of better effort.
Yeah, I think, that's probably, if the coach comes up here and talks after a while, it'll be interesting to see what his take is on it. But, it just, I don't know. I don't know. This group's kind of, when things are going good for them, they play well. But as far as getting through adversity and being able to manufacture things, at times it seems like they struggle. Grant Young seems like he's really struggling right now. Shooting the ball, just everything. Being the floor leader that we need him to be out there. And there's numerous things that could cause that. He's played a lot. Him and Carter Mundy have probably played the most minutes out of anybody on the Jasper team. And you're getting towards the end of the season here, where both of the teams.
Sorry, I was trying to turn my mic down, but I turned yours off. Sorry about that.
It's where both teams, those two guys got to work through this, and we got to be ready to go here in a couple weeks when the sectional rolls around. And right now it doesn't look like it might be a short live in the sectional, but there's still plenty of time. You've got a couple games left. You got Pike Central coming up. You got go to Bedford for the last one of the year. So you don't have a lot of games in the next 2 weeks basically. So you've got some time to practice. You've got some time to rest. You've got some time to watch a lot of film and figure things out.
Regroup.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm pretty sure the coaching staff will be working hard at that.
Well, as we look at this at this ball game again, the big question is, what do they work on exactly? I mean, as we wind things down with these last two games against Pike Central and Bedford North Lawrence, two very good ball clubs again. That just, obviously this was probably the toughest game where we were able to face in the last five or so, down the stretch here. But Pike Central mightily improved. And Bedford North Lawrence is usually Bedford North Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, Pike Central is a lot better this year than what they have been in the past. So, that won't be no easy game. It is senior night at home, so, you hope that, that helps get motivated a little bit. And then anytime you got to go on the road to Bedford to play, that's always a daunting task. So, again, win or lose those games, you want to play well. You want to, if I was that coaching staff, I'd get those game films out of those games that we played and really shut teams down on because of our defense.
Right.
And I would show those game films and say, here, see what happens when you play this type of defense. Mm-hmm. And the thing of it is, the teams that we did that to, it's not like they were bad teams. There was a couple of good teams in there that we did it.
New Albany's a little down, you might want to say, but
it's
still New Albany.
Yeah,
and you played, and they have played very well, but right now things are just struggling a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
And this is not the time you want to see that.
You don't, but fortunately, you have enough time to write that. You can't carry that over to the next two games and go into the sectional in a big funk like that. You've got time in the next two games to turn things around, get them going in a positive direction so that when you get to the sectional, you're ready to go.
Well, we'll just go ahead and take a quick look at the individual scoring for today's game for Castle. They were actually led in scoring all by Braden Bishop, who led all scorers tonight with 19 points, and including, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in the fourth quarter alone. In fact, he had 10 of Castle's 13 points in that fourth quarter. And, in fact, I'm going to write down the final score here myself before I forget. But anyway, 19 points for Braden Bishop, 12 points for Xander Niehaus, 16 points by Weston Eigner, all in the first three quarters. He did not score in the fourth quarter. Not bad for the Wildcats to hold him, I guess, maybe to a 16, averaging,
25
coming into the contest.
Yeah. I mean, we did a good job with him after we made some adjustments, I think.
Right. 11 points by Aiden McAtee and 12 points by Xander Niehaus, as we said. So 1, 2, 3, 4 Castle players, 4 of their 5 starters, in fact, with double figures. Dylan Watson only having 2. For the Wildcats, they were led in scoring with 3 players with double figures, with Carter Mundy leading the way with 11 points, 10 points apiece by Will Wallace and Charlie Cabrick, 7 points by Griffin Heil, and 3 points by Braden Giesler off the bench. So our final score, Jasper falls to Castle 60 to 42. Haven't seen any indication of any coaches coming up, and if they do, great. If not, we can't blame them, maybe, perhaps.
Yeah, from their standpoint, it's got to be a little aggravating, depressing, because, they continue to work hard, all coaching staffs do, and I know this coaching staff, and I know they're putting the effort there. They're doing what they need to do. A lot of times the public wants to blame losses on the coaches and wins and the kids get the credit for the wins.
Exactly.
And coaches don't care. That doesn't bother them. But in the same sense, it wasn't the coaches' doings that they didn't have these kids. There is times when they don't have them ready to prepare, be prepared for the game, but not very often. And, we played Tuesday night at Mater Dei and then had to turn around and practice Wednesday and Thursday and then, come back down here on Friday. But, from that sense, yeah, but.
That's the way it's going to be, being in the Southern Indiana Athletic Conference. And Jason Allbrand comes up. He'll join the radio, though. Like I said, I'm not sure if we got anybody to come join us. If not, that's fine. We certainly understand.
I would say one of them will come up. But.
Okay. Well, either way, let's just go ahead and take a break for now, and if they do, we'll talk with them. In the meantime, once again, the final score is Jasper falling to Castle 60 to 42. Okay, all right. Looks like Coach Nobler is going to come this way, so Andy Nobler will just leave it right here. So Andy Noblet, assistant coach for the Wildcats, will step in put on the headsets there, Nobby. Let's kind of just break things down a little bit. I'm not sure exactly what I should ask, but either way, Andy, let's talk a little bit about this game and how things are standing right now.
Well, the Wildcats ran into a pretty good team tonight, and Castle Knights have a little bit of everything. Got a really good point guard, got some guys on the wings that can score. Big in the middle, too. I mean, not easy to score from the inside, the outside. They're tall enough to be able to not have to double the post. And when you don't have to double the post, even with some of our big guys who can score, makes it difficult for Mundi and for Cabrick and for Young to shoot because they're not being left open because of the size. So we're going to figure those kind of things out, I'm sure, in the next couple of weeks. Because when you have a possible sectional opponent, try to make some of those adjustments. Great for our kids to see that instead of having to only see it the first time in a sectional situation.
And that's a positive thing. Obviously, going in to the sectional, Andy, is as I was going to say, Castle with the team that's probably got a mix of everything, as you said, with their size, their guard shooting, and so forth. I mean, of course, in either way, you got guys coming off the bench hitting their shots too. So, this is again, a plus. I look at it as that way, and obviously something you're only going to learn from with the 2 games left, and obviously potential sectional opponent.
Absolutely. Anytime that you can be able to see something that you haven't seen all year and be able to learn from it, and have the time to prepare for not only the next team, but also maybe some of the things that we need to do a little bit differently. It gives the coaching staff something else to look at, more film that they can study and figure out exactly what we want to do and be able to attack. And, it's not the first time that we've come down to Castle or to Evansville and really been taught some things that we're going to have to do differently in order to be successful. So you got to look at tonight as, just another experiment that, we need to find the solution to.
And it's it's obviously after winning 7 out of 8 games, we've run into a little bit of a skid, but it's a tough stretch. I mean, after of course last week with what we had, and then of course Tuesday night we're down at Mater Dei. 3 nights later, here we are at the Castle. You only had 2 days to prepare whatever practice, how much you actually practiced this week between these two.
Yeah, I think keeping ourselves healthy is number one, and that's got to be something. Grant Young's he was in the weather tonight, so trying to get him some rest and more time for him to recover and give other guys some chances to step up in different situations. We've been fortunate to stay out of foul trouble with those guys, but maybe having Grant off the floor makes us think about a little bit about how we would attack if Grant would end up in foul trouble at some point in the tournament. So you always look at what you're doing from a coaching standpoint as what would we may need to do if certain situations arise. And so you saw tonight different times a different point guard out there having to make decisions and being able to run the offense in a position that they normally don't do. So in a lot of sports you've got to have a backup plan when things change, and tonight was one of those chances to kind of see guys in different positions.
No matter how much experience, no matter how much you've played already at this point with only 2 games left, it's still, every game is still a learning.
Yeah, absolutely, and you have to salute our kids. I looked up. I thought we were fortunate to be only down 14 at one point because our kids continued to be scrappy, started making plays. I thought we were in the passing lane better than we've been in a few games, maybe forcing some turnovers that we haven't been doing. So, we've got to figure out just some of those things in order to compete in the 4A sectional. Do you want to do those kind of things? Are you going to back up a little bit? Are you going to get in those lanes? What can we do that will help our team succeed?
And you have 2 games left to get prepared for the sectional against still 2 very still quality opponents.
Super quality opponents.
Exactly, with Pike Central much improved, and Bedford North Lawrence being Bedford North Lawrence as the sectional draw comes up a week from Sunday.
Yeah, Bedford North Lawrence, a really good team. They beat a Lagodi team that thinks that they're playing pretty well right now, and Pike Central is they just have a really nice group of kids that are going to come into the gym, and we've played them a lot. I've been around these 2 groups a lot, and they're going to come in ready to play hard, and we're going to be testing each of those last 2 trips, and that's what you want. You don't want to not be ready for the 4A sectional by playing weaker opponents. It's a challenge for our kids, and we're going to continue to learn.
Thank you very much for stepping in with us, Andy, and good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Andy. And Andy Noblet, our assistant coach, joined us here on the postgame tonight. Wildcats fall by the score of 60-42. They will be back in action next Friday night for the actually final home game at the JHS Gym, senior night, as they will take on the Pike Central Chargers. That game will tip off, I believe, at 7:30 next Friday night. And of course, you can see it here next Saturday at 10 a.m. here on 18 WJTS. For Jason Stamm, Jeremy Marcos, Coach Andy Noblet, and for Craig Schneider, I'm Carey Schneider, saying goodnight from Paradise, where it wasn't exactly paradise for the Cats, though, as they fall to the Castle Knights by the score of 60-42. So long, everybody.